To say that one waits a lifetime for his soulmate to come around is a paradox. People eventually get tired of waiting, take a chance on someone, and by the art of commitment, become soulmates, which takes a lifetime to be perfect. I love these lines because they capture something we rarely admit, that love isn't found, it's built. All we get is a raw human with some emotions, a history, and few broken pieces. We all know the recipe, by the way: patience, honesty, and efforts. But imagine what will happen if we skip these main ingredients: a broken, uncooked relationship. And this is exactly what is happening today. We want connections without vulnerability, commitment without sacrifice, love without effort, and that is why so many relationships collapse even before they get real. Because we are in a time that has taught us that love should feel perfect from the start. But history has given us infinite examples, reminder of the power of love, how two people stand against all the odds, change the courses of their life, even sometimes alter the history, simply because they chose to stay together. Now, the real question is, what exactly changed? People, the idea of love, or life? And the answer is everything. So let us now navigate 5 most important reasons why modern relationships are failing and why we are in an era of broken love. Reason number 1: the illusion of infinite choice. An article in National Geographic titled "This is Our Brain on Dating Apps" explained that receiving a like or a match triggers a rush in users, and that this may involve in dopamine-like reward pathway. Technology has given us access to thousands of potential partners, but it has also given us this illusion that someone better is always one swipe away. And that's why in this world of endless option, love has turned into a checklist, a set of pros and cons. We wait like a purchase decision. And the moment we begin to analyze what should be felt, the magic starts to fade away. Because love, it was never meant to be optimized. It was meant to be experienced imperfectly by two imperfect people choosing each other. Anyways, point number 2: emotional consumerism. The problem is that we have begun to treat relationships like the experiences we consume and not the connections we cultivate. The moment love stops making us feel good, we move away, like trends, apps, and playlists. But love was never meant to entertain us, it was meant to evolve us. And when we start seeking emotional highs instead of emotional growth, the relationship began to decay. Now, I would like to take it a bit further and add that one of the major problems is that our decisions and thoughts are becoming secondhand. Our thoughts, our desires, even the definition of love is no longer our own. We are inspired less by experiences and more by content, less by wisdom and more by trends. Somewhere someone uploads a 20-second reel on how love should feel like, and millions of people start questioning their perfectly fine relationships. We are not falling out of love. We are falling into this toxic trap of comparison. And oh my god, when we start comparing our lives with someone highlighted reels and edited content, no relationship can survive that kind of distortion. Point number 3: the fear of commitment and the myth of freedom. One of the greatest paradoxes of our times is that we glorify independence so much, yet we are lonelier than ever. We wear self sufficiency as a badge of honor, as if needing someone will diminish our own worth. But somewhere along the way, we are confusing independence with isolation. Commitment, once seen as an act of courage, a conscious choice to make something lasting, is now seen as a threat to personal freedom. We fear being tied down, but we forget that what truly imprisons us is not the idea of love, but the fear of surrender. We crave intimacy, but design our lives to prevent it. We keep emotional escape open because, just in case. But real freedom is not found in keeping our options open. It is found in choosing one person, one direction, and pouring into it without fear, but with commitment. Because paradoxically, commitment doesn't confine us, it grounds us. It gives us that stability from which true growth can happen. So basically, it's not love that limits us, it's our anxiety about losing control. And that pursuit of half hearted freedom leaves us emotionally weightless, drifting from person to person, moment to moment, experience to experience, never truly belonging somewhere. Point number 4: the decline of emotional maturity. Basically, we know how to flirt, ghost, and block, but not how to apologize, listen, and repair. We can solve equations, but not misunderstandings. We want deep emotional connections, but we fear vulnerability. And without true vulnerability, love has no roots. We want true intimacy, but we are so scared of our own flaws. So instead of learning how to regulate emotions, we run from them. Instead of learning how to communicate, we choose silence. We have mistaken emotional avoidance for emotional maturity and emotional strength. And you know what? True maturity is not staying calm all the time. It is staying present even when it's uncomfortable. Again, because love does not require perfection, it requires patience. It requires repair. Point number 5, the rise of meaningless labels and the death of definition. Today, relationships are failing because people, they don't care. They don't want to define anything. They just hate definitions. We have created our own dictionary of meaningless labels. Casual relationships, talking stages, casually exclusive, situationships, almost relationships, one night stands. These labels sound modern, but they tell us nothing about what two people are to each other. But they exist for a reason, to give us emotional access without emotional availability, without emotional vulnerability. Basically, people want the comfort of a relationship without having responsibility. They want to stay close to each other, yet distant enough to avoid commitment. And you know what the real tragedy is? Some people actually settle for these bloody definitions because they think that asking for clarity will scare the person away. But honestly, when a relationship has no definition, it has no direction. And if it has no direction, it obviously have no future. So I think it's safe to say that modern relationships are failing not because of the lack of love, but because of the lack of clarity. You know, we keep saying that modern love is broken, but maybe it's not broken, it's been redesigned. We have engineered relationships to be safer, lighter, easier to exist. Fewer risks, fewer stakes, fewer consequences. But in doing so, we have quietly removed something that once gave love its depth. Because love doesn't deepen through perfection, it deepens through exposure, through saying when it would be easier to leave, through being seen when it would be easier to hide. What we call freedom today often looks like protection. Protection from discomfort, protection from fully being known. But my dear, love has never grown in protected spaces. So perhaps the question isn't why love doesn't last anymore. The real question is, what did we trade to make it feel safe? So love hasn't disappeared. It's still there. But it only shows fully when you're willing to be unprotected. And that, I think, is the risk that modern love is afraid to take.